Monday, October 27th, the day Ontario voters elect their next municipal government. There's no shortage of candidates, most of whom have been campaigning hard to win your support. Among the more interesting races in our region is the one for mayor in the city of Kawartha Lakes. 5 people want the job, 3 men and 2 women. There is no incumbent. I sat down with each of the so-called CKL5 to find out why they want to lead council and, more important, why voters should choose them. First up, Donna Vilmaire. "14 years as a councillor, now you're ready for the top job. Why do you want to be the mayor of the city of Kawartha Lakes?"
I think after 14 years I've certainly learned the ropes. I understand the process. I have studied procedural bylaws, programs. I just know different things to help get things done.
Donna Vilmaire is a veteran councillor. Fact is, none of the other 4 candidates have near as much current experience.
I just like being able to help people find solutions to their problems. It's always been in my nature to be a problem solver. So, yeah, 14 years, we've lived it, breathed it, cried and laughed it. One of my goals is to make more contact with communities. I think council needs to be more engaged. We seem to have stepped away from including the public in a lot of our decisions. So one of my programs is to have community councils. And that way the people can be more engaged in what happens in their own community. Hello, how are you? I'm Donna Vilmaire, I'm running for mayor. Just going around.
So as she goes door to door, what are people talking about?
The biggest concern that I'm hearing right now is the issue with development services. That we seem to be more of a community that says no to builders, and that has to stop. There are ways to make the system work, and if it means that we have to refine the process, then that's what we need to do. But that seems to be the biggest issue. The second largest, of course, is roads. Always has been. We have to find ways to put money into the roads program so that the gravel roads get converted over the course of so many years. I think that would stop a lot of the complaints, and it would cut back on some of our servicing costs as well. Communication. We don't communicate as well with our constituents as we should. I know a lot of young people are into the internet and those types of technical things. I think we should be webcasting our council meetings so people can be involved in that.
How would you describe your leadership style?
You really have to push the button before I'll get angry with you. I tend to be very patient. Some people seem to think I'm a little too quiet, but if you push the wrong button, I won't be quiet very long. You can ask some of my colleagues. They know exactly when to back off, and that's good. I just don't believe jumping up and down and shouting at people is the way to get things done or to solve problems. We never did it in my home. I don't do it in my personal business, and really try very hard not to do it in municipal politics. Your patience gets pushed, that's for sure, but I have a long wait time.
Long fuse, huh?
I do.
Why should people vote for Donna?
Because I have the experience of 14 years. I've been here since amalgamation, so I know the issues we faced. I'm very familiar with issues coming forward. Particularly, we'll be looking at policing contracts, and that is going to be something that I insist will have to be public meetings. It's all right to say I prefer this service over the other, but people aren't aware of the ramifications of the choices, so we need to sit down and discuss them, let people know what their choices are, and let the people decide what they want. If they're happy with the way it is, that's fine.
Well, thank you for being here, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
The bottom line is the municipality has failed to raise the revenues we needed to through development, and our growth has been stymied. We have to understand that rural area and urban areas have different needs, and as those needs project into costs, we have to be very careful as to how we build those needs and spend those dollars. We, as 35,000 households and roughly 70,000 taxpayers, have a great deal of trouble funding the 3,000 square kilometer needs of this community.
Needs such as roads, social services, and affordable housing, to name a few. As a lifelong accountant and a current councillor, John Macklem believes the time is right to run for mayor. So why should people vote for John Macklem?
I'm particularly proud of the time I've spent in municipal government, and I believe the background I have in finance and fiscal responsibility, I've learned an immense amount about planning issues. I can't write the book, but I can certainly enforce it. And I have never had a silver spoon in my mouth, so I know what hard work is, and I know what it is to raise a family and what people go through.
People here, says Macklem, are going through the same things as many people who live in a mostly rural area.
Number one issue I hear is I have no more money to pay any more higher taxes. That's the number one issue I hear. Our road degradation over the years has gotten much worse, exacerbated, to use a big word, and we haven't been able to keep up. So my job as mayor is to get the money, honey, at both the federal and provincial levels of government to help us create the infrastructure.
Another way of doing that, he says, is attracting new residents from larger cities.
There is no doubt the Toronto seniors selling their homes at $1.4 million on the beaches can buy a home here for $300,000 and have a nice nest egg to invest. So from an economic development standpoint, more people, more taxes, better services is the equation. And I think in the end of the day, all of the people in the city will benefit from that.
How do you describe your style of leadership?
I can tell you that in a key element of managing council, my style is very inclusive. I very seldom cut a speaker off. I usually encourage debate. I'm a tough rule man, and I believe in consultation, and I believe every councillor has the right to be heard fully. So from that perspective, I would say my style is very much direct. And I appreciate your time.
Whomever gets to sit in the mayor's chair, Macklem says he'd like to see more openness at City Hall.
We need accountability. We need people at City Hall to say, how may I help you? Not how may I not. We have a good community. We have a great opportunity to make it even better. And I want to be a part of that.
I said to them, I'll run again. I know I can do a good job, but it has to be me. I want this to be real.
Andy Letham is talking about his decision to run for mayor again. Why do you keep going after this position? What is it that makes you want to be the city's top politician?
Well, persistence is not a weakness. I consider it a strength, so I believe I have a lot to offer. This time around, it seems to be very, very positive. I'm very excited about the response that I'm getting, and I think sometimes it's 3 strikes and you're out, so I'm giving it one more shot, and I think it's all going to work out this time.
One of the reasons might be the absence of 2-time incumbent Rick McGee.
When you don't have an incumbent, it's very hard to beat an incumbent. He's sort of the safe bet, the known entity, if you want to call it that. He was a very big presence when he ran for mayor, and you know, we came close a couple times toward beating him, and this time it is different because he's not around, and we're looking forward to a good race. We've got four other people running against me, so it's a battle in that regard, but not quite the same as running against an incumbent.
Letham has 4 years' experience as a councillor, and for the past 7 years, he's been general manager at the Lindsay exhibition. Letham wants to use both to change the city's image.
We've had a reputation for a long time as being difficult to deal with, and I'm very determined as one of my key issues to improving that process, to working with the people we have, working with the developers, and working with our staff and figuring out, you know, how do we make ourselves more friendly and open to new people that want to come here. And that involves whether it's a business, whether it's a developer, a big $1 million of a developer, or whether that's just a single guy that, you know, a single family that wants to build a home. We need to improve on that process.
Now, what are you hearing as you're campaigning and talking to people? What are people concerned about here in CKL?
We're concerned about a lot of the things they've been concerned about for quite a while. Roads, condition of our roads is always the talk of the town. Taxes, you know, keeping those taxes at a reasonable level. What I hear a lot about too is jobs. You know, people are looking for a community that can be vibrant, be healthy, feel like it's moving forward, and I think that's what those three things are sort of the top topics that we seem to hear a lot about.
What kind of leadership would you bring to council?
Leadership is the positive. I'll go back to the positive. You know, positive leadership I think has been lacking here for a long time. That's not a criticism against anybody. That's just a leadership quality that some people have, some don't.
Depending on who you talk to, the city of Kawartha Lakes is staring down a debt of close to $100 million. Letham denies that and points out that's not the whole story.
It's a complicated issue, and we've had some people at some of our debates throwing out numbers, which I've received numbers from our city staff, and it does not add up to $100 million. There's a tax debt, there's, you know, water and wastewater debt, there's other fixed debt, you know, regarding housing and such, and when you factor everything in, you're probably in the $80-some million range. Not all of that is on the tax base, some is. We have debt for our Northwest Trunk, so, you know, it is more complicated than that, and when they talk about the debt, sometimes they don't talk. We also have over $60 million in reserves. So sometimes when you talk about one side and not the other, you're scaring people.
If he wins the race, Letham says there's one thing above all else he wants.
If I'm going to leave this job and lead the city, I want to enjoy my 4 years as mayor, and I want the people to enjoy my 4 years as mayor, and I believe the only way we can do that is by keeping it real, not by making promises to people that we can't keep. Then they get mad at me, and I'm not having much fun, and I don't need that. So I'm very focused on keeping it real, enjoying myself, working hard, and I believe at the end of 4 years we're going to be in a lot better shape than we are now.
This community invested in us as small business owners 17 years ago, and I'm investing in it now. And I guarantee the return on the investment will be tremendous for this community.
There's no doubting her confidence. Brenda Karagiannis knows what she wants and has some ideas.
Let's raise the awareness here of Kawartha Lakes. People are moving here. The momentum has begun already. They're coming regardless, but we need to be ready. We need good long-term plans, long-term plan for transportation, long-term plan for our seniors, and long-term plan for our youth. We need to get Kawartha Lakes working again.
What is a concern of the voters in the CKL?
Well, one of the main concerns, and I have been knocking on doors for the last 2 months, and there's a common theme. And one of the common themes are taxes. A lot of people feel that the taxes here in the city of Kawartha Lakes are out of line. They don't have a problem paying taxes, they just want to know where their tax dollars are going, and that it's going somewhere that's producing a return on the investment eventually in the future. So taxes are a big issue. Quality of life, huge issue. A lot of seniors in our community feel very isolated in our community. They don't have access to services. They don't have access to information about programs. We have some fantastic nonprofits in our community that are doing amazing things, wonderful programs, but a lot of our seniors don't have access to the internet. They may or may not have a computer even at home.
Well, how would you describe your leadership style as a successful business person?
My leadership style is very inclusive. I like to know who I'm dealing with. I love to get to know people and see what their talents are. I have a tremendous ability to rally the troops, to get to know each individual's strengths and utilize that. Find out what their goals in life are, what their goals for this community are. I love to have an environment, and this is the culture that we have here in our companies, is an environment where it's okay to make a mistake. It means that you've made a decision.
Making decisions, says the rookie candidate, is something she feels has contributed to her success in business.
My husband and I came here to the city of Kawartha Lakes in 1999. We opened Trinity Taxi with one taxi, a cell phone, and one driver. And all we did was take care of our customers. We delivered excellent customer service. And 17 years later, we have over 30 taxis, 60 full and part-time employees, and 3 other thriving businesses as a result of that. And we feel that these successes were not by accident. They're from hard work, determination, setting goals, and knowing what our customers need. There are huge opportunities out there, but without a mayor who's out there advocating for the community and raising awareness of the city of Kawartha Lakes, then we're just going to get overlooked.
Although she has no experience at the municipal level, Karagiannis believes she has the necessary qualities to be the mayor.
I know how to work well as a team member. I am an amazing advocate. I will get out there and I'll be the biggest ambassador for this community that they have ever seen. I will get out there and I will raise awareness. People will move here and they will move their businesses here and they will invest in our community like they've never seen before. And that'll be my first term. My second term will be a whole other ball game. Then we'll be fine-tuning. The best things are yet to come. We've had a tremendous run here in the city of Kawartha Lakes with the current council. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to move forward as much as they should have been.
Why does Bill Denby want to be the mayor of the city of Kawartha Lakes?
Basically, my goal is to open this place up finally for business. That it's fair to all people that if they have a dream of ownership of a business or a place, that they can come to the city of Kawartha Lakes and open their business. Free of any harassment from what I like to refer to as the old boys that think they own this community. They built it, they own it. You have to get their permission in order to do anything here. And what I've said finally in this election, it's over.
Like a new sheriff in town, Bill Denby says he wants to clean things up. First, though, he must win the mayor's chair. What kind of council would you lead?
A council that listens to the people, does for the people, and protects the people. Because what we've got now is a council that's out of control on spending. It has no real clear vision of what this community needs.
He's run before at the provincial and federal levels, but was never elected. He's thrown his hat into the municipal ring to shake up the old guard.
The old established business community that doesn't want to see change. They like it the way it is because it's been profitable for them. It's been downright disgusting for the people because what it's caused is they've managed through various means to put most of their competition out of business, where it used to be 30 years ago, the people were the commodity, not the business.
Taking that stance, Denby has made his share of enemies.
No matter how much they intimidate me, how much they trash my signs, I'll still come out, and how much they charge me with charges that won't stick to try to intimidate me. But I can tell the public right now that I have never done any of the things that I'm accused to do to anybody. I am, and I'm going to state this publicly so people know, I am Amish descent and I am First Nation. And again, my beliefs don't allow me to abuse people. What I do is try to be fair with people, and I find they like to abuse me. These guys are trying to burn up my money, okay, so that I can't keep fighting the fight, but they just don't know how much money I have. Go on my website and look at my business portfolio and ask yourself, does a lunatic develop and grow and operate these kinds of businesses? Does a lunatic do this?
You called yourself a lunatic?
Well, that's what they call me. They call me a loose cannon. They have 3 websites set up. My opposition does, okay? The one that I'm in a dispute with. And they have been smearing me for months behind my back. I didn't even know they existed.
Why do you think people should vote for you?
For me, I think I'm the only one that has a clear vision. I'm a solid business person. I'm very good at organizing and strategizing and getting the job done. And that's what has to happen in this case. You have to look at the candidates, you have to look at their track records, and you have to forget about the party. and look at the individuals that are running. And I think I put forth the best credentials. I don't promise something unless I can do it. I'm not the normal politician. I'm the new politician for the people.
So now it's up to you. Remember to exercise your franchise and vote on October 27th. I'm Dan Nisnik. Thanks for watching.